What is going on, you guys? My name is Nick, and if you guys are coming over here from my Decision to Leave review, thank you so much for putting up with this face for so long. I really do appreciate it. But now it's time to talk about Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So first off, I want to go ahead and establish that I'm not a big fan of stop motion animation just in general. For me personally, I just feel like it's not really in the best place right now as opposed to regular standard animation. And I guess what I mean by that is I have a really hard time connecting with the characters in stop motion animation, mainly because the characters just don't really exhibit life to me, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the same thing with, I believe it was 2019 was the year the Lion King live action adaptation came out. It was the same struggle for me with that movie. It's just watching the animals on screen as opposed to watching the actual cartoon, the inflections that you get with the specific drawing of that film. I don't really feel that as much with stop motion and with for example, the Lion King remake. But that doesn't mean that stop motion animations are terrible. I mean, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, they're all fantastic films. They're just not really for me. But I think I can happily say that what Guillermo del Toro did with this specific adaptation of Pinocchio completely takes that thought that I just spewed to you guys for the past minute and takes a shit on it, because he proved me wrong so hard. Right from the opening shot, Guillermo has the audience wrapped around his finger. I was very surprised with the amount of time that we actually spent before Pinocchio was actually built and introduced into the story. And with Del Toro behind the project, that really shouldn't have surprised me, because a lot of the stuff that takes place, even like during the process of building Pinocchio, is very, very dark. It's very heavy. While I do say the film does have dark aspects to it, I wouldn't say this is a dark adaptation of Pinocchio as what I've been hearing some people refer to it as. The darkness of the movie doesn't even really come from like scary or thrilling visuals. It more so manifests in the emotional trauma that our characters go through. Because with Guillermo behind the camera, it's very easy to say that he's just going to make a darker, more frightening adaptation, but instead of doing that, he takes these darker, more, I wouldn't say frightening, just more intense moments and utilizes them to not scare or frighten the audience, but rather bring them closer into the psyche of the characters that we're watching. All across the board, the voice acting was phenomenal. It was top-notch, some of the best I've ever heard, actually. And it's just really a shame that the Academy doesn't recognize the art of voice acting, because that's what it is. Just as much as performing on screen is an art, is acting. Doing voice work is an art as well. It's acting as well. So hopefully one day the Academy can prove me wrong and slot a new category in there, because honestly, there like so many voice actors are underappreciated. I can't even begin to tell you. But the big standout for me, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record because of all of my tar praise that I've been putting out on the internet the past month or two, but Cate Blanchett as a violin playing monkey. I mean, like what? I was just absolutely mind blown, like as the credits were rolling, to see Cate Blanchett was the one that was voicing the monkey. I mean, she doesn't really say any actual dialogue. It's just her making a bunch of really accurate monkey noises. But now comes the big question: do I think this film is going to get nominated for Best Picture? And if you've seen my Oscar prediction video already, you do know that I put that in my top 10 for Best Picture. But now I'm kind of regretting that, because not even 10 minutes ago, the AFI, the American Film Institution, just released their top 10 of the year. And no, this isn't going to be like an exact carbon copy of what the Oscars are going to do, what the Golden Globes are going to do, or what any other awards are going to do, but it is a pretty good indicator of at least half, if not a little over half, of the films that are going to make it onto that Oscar ballot. And there is a decent amount of stuff missing from there, like The Whale, so I don't really... Is The Whale not going to happen? Hopefully it still does. I mean, I think Brendan Fraser still has to get that nomination. I'm just a little worried about the rest of the categories for the movie now. But yeah, so as of right now, I can't say that I'm confident on Pinocchio getting a Best Picture, but I'm also not going to count it out entirely just because of this one list coming out. If it happens, then thank God, because it definitely deserves a nomination. But if it doesn't at the same time, I'm not going to be too heartbroken about it. But alright guys, it's about time that I start wrapping this up. I'm going to give Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio a 4.5 out of 5. And the only thing keeping this from a 5 out of 5 is the simple fact that the antagonists of the film, the two main antagonists, just felt very unbalanced. And I do understand that Guillermo was trying to convey different specific themes with each villain in particular. I just ultimately found them to be extremely one-noted, given what Guillermo was trying to do with them. But I digress. Those two characters don't ruin the movie for me. But have you guys seen Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio? It did just premiere on Netflix today, so if you haven't, feel free to roll over there and check it out. I really do highly recommend it. And feel free to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, and let's have a little conversation about it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. It really does mean the world to me. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for my Avatar: The Way of Water review. Peace.